it's maskedwiccan94. It's a dark and stormy night tonight, so we're going to mostly be doing this by the light of my oil lantern. You guys can see my lovely mask today. Today's topic, a little touchy, self-defense and the wicked rede, how those two relate. This is going to be all strictly my own opinion and interpretation, so if you disagree, that's great, that's fine, I don't got a problem with it. So I want to start off by just reading the wicked rede. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's basically just a core value that Wiccans try to adhere to. It's, "And it harm none, do what ye will." Now, this is kind of Middle English here. The rede actually is meaning advice or counsel. Alright? The and it harm none, actually it translates to if. So, if it harms none, do what you will. This saying actually cannot be proven to predate the 1940s. So it's actually a newer concept, a more modernized pagan saying. Now a lot of people interpret it as a commandment not to harm others. And I disagree with that, mainly because I've never heard of a commandment come out of Wicca that we have to do something or we can't do something. So my own personal interpretation, what I get out of the Wiccan rede, would be that if you're doing something and it doesn't harm anyone, then you should not have to feel guilty or think twice about doing it. I think it's mostly a rebuttal for the things other religions try to make people guilty for. I mean, there's homosexuality, masturbation, divination, any sort of witchcraft. There's plenty of things that other religions say that are wrong and make people feel guilty for when they're not harming anybody. Now, on the other hand, you could say that this is saying that, you know, it's fine to do something that doesn't harm somebody without giving a second thought, but maybe anything that does affect another individual requires a lot of thought, a lot of meditation, and a good conscience to decide if it's justified or not. I think any decision to defend yourself, defend your friends, your family, or just any other human beings, or animals, or the earth for that matter, it requires a lot of careful thought to when it is appropriate, when it is okay. Because if you don't decide what you do in a situation where someone is putting your life in danger, your family's life in danger, it's important to figure out what you would do in that situation before it happens. Because in that moment, you have no time to have a debate within your own head about what you should do and how you should adhere to the Wiccan rede in this situation. You have to figure it out beforehand, or else you're going to be a deer stuck in headlights. Maybe that decision that you made, that action that you took, is not the one that you would have picked if you had sat down and thought, you know, how are my religious beliefs would affect a situation like that. What would I do where I could live with myself and have a clean conscience in the way that I live? Yeah, basically what I'm saying is figure out whether self-defense or protecting somebody else is right for you before you're in a situation where you have to make that decision. So you make the right one, the one that you're comfortable with, and the one that you put some serious thought into. Something else I would like to point out, if our pagan ancestors strictly followed a rule where you could not harm another person no matter what the circumstances, then they would basically be sitting ducks. Barbarians would have came from all over the world to the place where people grow crops and build houses, and they can't defend them. And everything would be taken away from them all of the time. They would just be enslaved. So I think it's kind of counterproductive and actually non-traditional to think that we can't defend ourselves as a people. Now obviously you probably could tell from the rest of this video that I do believe that we should defend ourselves and any other human being. But to the people who say that we shouldn't, that violence is unacceptable no matter what, I mean, I could understand where someone would rather a perpetrator kill them than having them kill the perpetrator and having blood on their hands for the rest of their life, because some people can't deal with that. But what I would say to that is, what about your family, your close family, and your friends? I think it is our duty to protect our family, our friends, and every human being that needs protecting. And are you really willing to sacrifice your family and your friends on the altar of your own pacifism? That's something you really need to think about before you make a concrete decision. I'm sorry for preaching at you so much in this video. That's just my opinion, what I think. If you disagree, please send me a message, comment, try to change my mind. Yeah, tell me if you think self-defense is a good idea, if you think it's not, and why. One thing that I've wanted to start to do in my videos is plug something that's related to paganism that really gets the gears going for me and makes me think. So stuff I really enjoy, and you probably will enjoy it too. Today I'm going to plug the podcast Down at the Crossroads with Chris Orapello. Look it up. It is a great talk show. He has lots of guests and interviews, and has plenty of music too, pagan music. It's a great podcast. All right, so check that out. That's all I got for today. So blessed be, merry part.